You can tell I'm by myself today. I'm very excited because I get to talk about what I love to talk about and show you some of our cool accessories. And welcome, I'm Karla Gerome, and welcome to our Grace Company live event. Today I get to talk about our accessory, our 9-piece foot set and our 4-piece hopping foot set. And I just felt like there are so many of you out there that don't realize all the fun and unique designs that you can create using these feet. And so I thought, hey, now's my chance. Nobody's here with me to show you all the fun things that you can do with our hopping foot set. And I'm just going to jump in and tell you about our special going on. So it's our Black Friday special, and it's going to be held for 1 week, and you will get 20% off. So if you haven't purchased the feet yet, now's the opportunity to get 20% off on the hopping foot set and the 9-piece foot set. And your code will be a capital B as in Bob, a capital F as in Frank, a capital Q as in quilt, capital F as in Frank, and a capital T as in Tom. So that's BFQFT. So make sure you write that down and you enter that code when you go to purchase. So I'm going to jump in because I'm very excited about this. I have two 19-inch machines here, and I get to show you the 4-piece hopping foot set and the 9-piece. So I'm going to jump in and show you a little bit about the 4-piece hopping foot set right here. I'm going to set this down. Courtney, remind me that we're going to talk about this again so that if you didn't get the code now, you can get it at the end. So with the 4-piece hopping foot set, many of you say, oh, you just want the ruler foot. But we have 2 other feet in this kit that are so useful and so cool, and they just really help you add that extra element and depth to your quilting. So in this set, not only do you get the ruler foot, which is a high shank foot to glide along the rulers, but you also get an open toe foot, which is great for if you are quilting feathers and you're going back over lines that you already sewn, that you need that line of sight to see so that you don't veer off and so that you can stay as close to that line and sew over it. So that's a really nice foot to have, and it faces the front, so as you're quilting towards you or off to the side, it just really is a nice foot to have on hand. And then I put the micro stipple foot on right now, and I just wanted to show you that this kit comes with the 4 feet because you get an extra foot because we're changing the style of the foot now. So if you have the older feet and you have a 19, don't worry about it. There's just a little small change. It's the same feet. They do the same things. It's just that we're making a change to make them a little more universal. So as we develop the feet and things. So anyway, you get these nice instructions, and they show you how to change out the foot, how to adjust the height, and you get this really nice gauge. It's our height adjustment foot gauge, and you'll put it under the foot. Now, you'll have to take it off, but put it under. And I'm going to show you, because I'm going to change the micro stipple foot out and put on the ruler foot in a little bit to show you what the ruler foot does. But, okay. All right, so camera 3, hi. So this is our hopping foot height gauge, but I will show you how that works in a little bit when I change the feet out. Because I want to show you how easy it is to change the feet and that you don't need to worry about. So I'm going to just set this off to the side, okay, right now. I just wanted to quickly show you. I have all my gear out here, so don't worry, I'm not going to sew over everything. But I have my little micro stipple foot on, if you can see here. And what's nice about the micro stipple foot, I just love it. So I brought a quilt. I just wanted to show you. I brought a quilt to show you, okay, what you can do with the micro stipple foot. Okay, if you have an applique and you wanted to accentuate the applique, so what the micro stipple foot will allow you to do is to make little teeny tiny stitches, and it just helps you make them, keep them very, very small. And that's what's so nice, is it just has these little two little prongs that stick out, so you have a good line of sight, so you can just keep your movements as close together without crossing. So I'm just going to jump in and show you a little bit how the micro stipple foot sews. So let me put this back here, okay? And so now I have this camera, so I have to stick my head down here to really see, and I have the ruler base on. So you wouldn't have the ruler base on if you're using the micro stipple foot, but you just make really small stipple movements. Now you can do little curly cues as well and keep them really close together, or you can just do the stipple. And a stipple is just curves, and you know, it's something that you could just practice. So get a practice piece on. But girl, it's just so much fun. And you can see that it can really highlight your appliques or your designs that you want. But anyway, that's a little of the micro stipple foot. And I just wanted to show you what a great foot it is and what you can use it for. And so I just don't want to hear any more complaints about that. You just want the ruler foot when you can get all three of these great, amazing feet. So anyway, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to talk about the ruler foot, and I'm going to change this out. I'm going to pull it forward, and as I pull it forward, notice that I'm just pulling on my threads to give me a nice little tail, and I'm going to pull my bottom thread up here by doing a needle up, needle down. It didn't quite grab it, so all right, so I'm just going to cut it off. Anyway, so it's probably caught under my ruler base, which is fine, and it is. Anyway, I'm going to quickly change to my ruler foot so I can show you how easy it is. So I'm just going to, I don't have to take my needle off or anything. I'm just going to loosen my foot and see how it falls down there. Okay, and then you'll just take this screw out. But you'll want to, as you replace it, you don't want to lose it. But in the kit, we give you a couple extra screws just to have on hand in case you do. And so it's a nice kit. And I got my gauge here. I'm going to put my ruler foot on right there. And I'm going to line my ruler foot up. And I'm going to put my needle, before I put my gauge on, I'm going to put my needle in the down position, because you want your needle as close to the hook as possible. So you're going to put your needle in the down position, and now I can slide my hopping foot gauge underneath it and make sure that little groove there, see this little groove right here? That's where you're going to push it through to where it hits the needle, okay? And you're just going to make sure that it's nice and centered, and you're going to put your screw back in. And you're using the 3mm Allen wrench that comes with your machine. And I'm just going to tighten it up, just watching it so I make sure that it doesn't come loose or that it's not centered any longer. And there we go. I've tightened it all up. Just going to pull it out. And you can see that I just barely have enough distance between them, because this gauge is like your credit card that you would use to adjust the height. So it takes that place. So now I can just take that off to the side and put my tool away. So now I have my ruler foot on. And I'm just going to pull. Because it's kind of caught down in there. So hang on here. Just let me pull this out. Let me get my scissors. That will be better. There we go. Oh, I broke my thread. Knew that was going to happen. There we go. So as I rethread this, because I'll have to cut it again because the eyes are getting older, I just want to talk to you about rulers. Okay, rulers are so much fun, and I'm going to show you my ruler quilt that I quilted just using rulers all around. But I want to talk to you about how important it is to get to know your ruler and what you can do to get to know and understand it. Sorry, the eyes are getting older. So what I did is I went and got a piece of paper, because this is what I do with all of my rulers so that I get to know them. I will use a piece of paper and I will sit down and start playing with my ruler to get to understand it and know it. So there we go. I have a little thread that's caught underneath there. So anyway, so just taking care of the little things that you have to take care of. So anyway, as I'm trying to rethread this, I'm going to go back to what I was talking about, is that piece of paper and using that ruler and tracing with it and figuring out your designs. I doodle, and when I doodle all the time. And so every meeting we have, and we have a lot of meetings around here, I am doodling away. And so hang on, I'm just going to bring my thread up. There we go. Brought my bottom thread up. Okay. All right, so now that I have it on and you have my undivided attention now, I just wanted to show you how the rulers work, and I didn't bring my pencil, darn it. Anyway, let's just talk about it, okay? So what you're going to do is just kind of practice using the template or the ruler. And what is really nice are true grips. And if you don't have these, you should have them. Because they not only work with your cutting tools, but they also work with our rulers, any ruler, and they're just invaluable. So if you don't have them, make sure that you get them. And this comes with a package, so you get 15 small and 15 large, and use every single bit of it. Cut up all the little excess and use it on your rulers. Don't let this go to waste. It's really an important tool to have. So what you're going to do, and I chose our Leah Day feather ruler to show you, because I like ladies or quilters, not just ladies, sorry, quilters of all genders, and to try it out and play with it. So what you'll do is you'll start with your foot, and you'll just go around like this, and you'll come up, all right? And then you see this line that's on it right here? You're going to move it up so that it intersects with the line. And then you're just going to keep going. So that it's going to hit the top, and you're just going to keep going all the way around it. Okay, just play with it and practice with it. And then you'll turn it over and try it in reverse. All right, if you don't like that one, I mean, there are other rulers out there. There are circles. I love this one. This is a little fun one because you can do so many things with it. So you can just lay it up like this and go across the top. And then you can turn it this direction and lay it and cross this way, and then you could just do loops and designs all the way across. So you could just do simple little loops all the way across. I'm just showing some things that you can do, or you can get a little more detailed. You could, pretty cool. And then if you turned it like this, what's fun about this ruler, you could have a whole quilt all the way down like that. And you could do a little circle, come back, There are just so many things. And, if you're just practicing, so if you don't like what you've done, then erase it or get a new piece of paper and try something else. But my thing is that practice, 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 practice. And then when you go to quilting, then you will feel really good about what you're doing and how you're working. And so, sorry, I did a 360 or 180 there, trying to figure out the cameras. So anyway, so just practice. And then you won't be worried about going to your frame and quilting. So let me just talk to you quickly about our 3x18 ruler right here. I love this ruler. And like I said, when I was doing my ruler, my quilt in my video, how much I love that the ruler fits on the sides and that it just is really easy. So I had my husband cut it down and I use both sides of it, or both ends. And I just have one that's 8 inches and one that's a little smaller. So I just wanted to show you that these rulers are great. So if you don't have them, yeah, pick one up and try it. Then with the rulers, what's interesting so far with rulers is that you have to do your measurements and you have to kind of eyeball the distance between your lines that you're quilting with. So I just want to quickly show you my quilt that I did with the rulers. And then we'll kind of sew for a minute, because you've already seen me probably do this. But the back is really, really fun because you can see all the different designs and what it looks like. And then on the front, yeah. So I just kind of did my own thing because I wanted to see all the fun things that you can do with rulers. But I use chalk as well and marking, water-soluble marking pencils as well. I probably wouldn't use them next time, but these are things that you learn. And there's a few tricks and things that I learned that I probably wouldn't do, but watch the video and you'll hear all about those. So anyway, I just did my own designs and I just learned so much. And like I said, I mapped it out beforehand and on a piece of paper, and that's the design that I liked. And I did all of this in here with the free motion. So I combined using rulers with the doodling of the free motion. And so just another aspect and element to quilting that is just so much fun. So just want to get you all excited about what's coming and what you can do to go to that next level of quilting, because it's never boring. There's always something new coming out, especially from the Grace Company. And we have a lot of new things coming out next year that I'm extremely excited, but I can't say anything about it right now. But I have to let you know. They are very exciting. So anyway, that's really the ruler in a nutshell. So as you're quilting, just line up your ruler, and I'm just going to do a couple of straight lines, and that's it. So, and then I'll just turn it this direction. It's a little harder with the GoPro camera on there, but it just makes it fun. So just go to town and have fun. But I just wanted you to know and understand what other feet we had available in our 4-piece kit. And just so that you would understand why I get really disappointed when you only want to try one foot. It's like a pair of shoes. You like shoes, you don't have just one pair that you use all the time. Yeah, so these feet are like shoes. So they do different things and they're very neat and very cool. So anyway, those are the rulers. Now I want to talk about the 9-piece foot set, because this is near and dear to my heart. As I was quilting my circle quilt, which most of you have probably seen, the circle quilt that Nathan was sitting in front of, that was the first quilt that I really jumped in and really did a lot of free motion work and tried to hone my skills. As I was quilting it, I felt like there was a need for different feet that would do different things. So again, like shoes, I thought it'd be really cool if we could come up with a kit that were different feet that were like shoes. Then we could call them different names. Anyway, the engineering team or the design team here had a better idea. They decided to take one foot, okay, and it has a ring, a plastic ring around it that you could put these really nice different inserts on. And in the 9-piece foot set, you get 9 feet, but just 1 foot. So you take them on and off and use them. So let me just quickly tell you about what each of the feet do. I have the couching foot on because I wanted to show you that. But I just want to talk about quickly what each of the feet do. So, okay, so turning here, camera 3. All right, so this right here, you have 3 echo feet. You have a small echo foot, a medium echo foot right here, and a large one. What the echo foot does is, notice that you've got a wider distance. So if you're making a repeat design, it just helps you keep that distance even and the same. So these are wonderful feet. So if you're really good at like popcorn flowers or a stipple and you want to keep that distance pretty even, these are the feet that you would use. So that's why you get a small, medium, and a large right there. Okay, this foot here is awesome. It's a spoon foot, and if you have a quilt that has lots of seams and you want to glide over those seams, some feet will catch on those seams because there's so many of them. This spoon foot will just glide along. So it's a great foot. And a lot of quilters would just leave that foot on. I don't know why, but they just leave that foot and that's all they're ever going to use. It's like a flat pair of shoes. And I don't know. I like my high heels once in a while. So anyway, here we have my diamond shape foot. And what's nice about it is it's great for crosshatch. So it's at an angle and you can make crosshatch straight lines. So you'll just put it along the ruler and it'll help you make your crosshatch. So that is a great foot. And actually, we were the first ones to come up with the square feet, I just want to say. And then you have just your regular square foot. Now, if you've seen my strip quilt class, I like to use this foot here for my strip quilt because it glides along just to give you a nice seam all the way across. And this edge just lines up with the edge of the foot of the strips. So that is the 9-piece foot set. And then we have the couching feet. Now the couching feet have this little hook right here, and that's to hold your yarn. You get 3 sizes, a small, medium, and large. And if you haven't done couching, you need to try it. It is so much fun. You will love what the couching foot does. In fact, the other day I was teaching a class and we put the couching foot on and let all these new customers or new people who had never used it before try it, and they absolutely loved it. They all ended up buying the feet because it was something fun and something new. So anyway, that is the 9-piece foot set, and those are all the amazing feet that you get when it comes to the 9-piece foot set. So anyway, just wanted to show you how the couching works, and you just get your yarn. This is as close to Christmas yarn. So this one right here was a little thicker and didn't sew as smoothly. We probably could have pushed it, but I wasn't willing to try it. So I just wanted to show you how much fun couching is. And you just put the yarn in. And I could do this all day. All right. Let's see how much fun you can have with the couching foot. All right. Okay, camera one. Okay, sorry, everybody. Okay, I just wanted to show you quickly I talked to you about the little spoon foot, and I talked to you about quilts that have a lot of seams. Well, this is a quilt that definitely had a lot of seams. These are really small, tiny 1-inch squares. And so I used the little spoon foot to have it glide over it, and it didn't get caught, but it just made easy work of it. And with this quilt here, I was just able to quickly, and I didn't do anything complicated. It was just really fun. I just did it up, down, and I did it every other direction. Here, I did XOXO because it was a lip quilt right here. And then I put kiss, 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 and I did all this free motion. And I did little hearts in the corner there, and just went around them to accentuate it. Well, the thing was, it got a little fatter and a little fatter as it went along, so I just tried to make it look even. But look how fun it is on the back. You can see, the up, downs, and you can see the XOs, and you can see the kisses from the back. But it just turned out really fun, and that spoon foot just was a lifesaver because it just glided over the quilt. So all of these feet are just amazing. And I just don't want you guys, all of you, to limit yourselves. So we have some questions. Okay. Can you use the couching foot while using? Yes, you can use the couching foot. I have tried it and I have done it. You just need to make sure that you have a long enough length that you're quilting with. So it's something that you'll really need to watch because you can run out of the yarn and you don't want it to break on you. You want it to look really nice and smooth. But yes, you can use it with the QCT. Any other questions? Hello. Anyway, let me just get back and show you a few more things as we're quilting. So I hope that you all see and know and understand why I'm so passionate about feet, because they are so nice and so much fun. And like I said, they just add an extra element to your quilting. So what I'm going to do is I just want to quickly show you. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. This one here. All right, so let me just move down here just a little bit. All right, so we're just going to glide across it. Right, sorry, the camera's in the way, so it makes it hard. And then I'm just going to turn it this other direction. And you make sure that they're catching it, and then we're going to come down this way. Now, if you have to stop, you can change the needle to the down position if you want, but I'm just showing you how this works. Now, if I was actually quilting, that's what I would do. And you know how to go into the system and change your needles and your needle to the down position, but then you can just keep going all the way down. So now I want to turn it the other way. I'm just going to pull it forward. And so now I'm just going to go back this direction. And I'd probably make a few little marks across it. Sorry, I had a little dip there. Anyway, I'm just trying to show you with the camera what you can do. I just have so much fun with these feet. And I just get so involved that I was trying to make it all the way across without changing it. But now, look, I can go up here and I can do my loops if I wanted to. And like I said, this camera makes it a little harder for me to see. Okay. But it's so amazing that even with the simplest design, how neat you can make your quilting look. Anyway, that's kind of what you can do. So anyway, just to make a long story short, make sure that when you go to purchase, you remember our code to get 20% off. And if you don't have the feet, now you don't have a reason why. You know what they do. I've showed you how to use them. They're so easy to change and so easy to use. So it's our Black Friday special. It's 1 week. There's 2 feet sets. We have our 9-piece foot set, which has the couching, the echo feet, the square feet, and the square feet and the glide foot. So make sure that you get these and add them to your little arsenal of quilting. And the code is BFQFT. They're all caps. And you'll get 20% off at the checkout. And then we have our 4-piece hopping foot set. Well, on the 15 it was 3-piece, but it's 4-piece now. However, with this foot set, you get the micro stipple, you get the ruler foot and open toe. And just amazing feet to help you with your quilting and to add that little extra something as you're quilting. So, are there any more questions or?
Somebody's asking if you're in stitch or regulated or precise.
Oh, I'm stitching in, and good question. Okay, so when I'm using the rulers, I stitch with regulated precise, and I will have my needle stop in the down position. Because when you stop, the needle stops, and you need that time to readjust the angle of your ruler. So that's what I would use. Now, when I'm using the micro stipple foot, I like regulated crews. And the reason is because it keeps stitching. And so as you're quilting small little stipples or loops, the needle keeps going up and down to add those extra little stitches to your curve. So you don't get those square looking stitches like you could with regulated precise. So those are the 2 modes that I like to use when I'm using those 2 different feet. Now, it just is a matter of preference. So turn on both modes and even manual mode. I want you to try them all. I don't want to limit you when you're quilting. Quilting is such a fun experience. Go through, and if you haven't tried manual mode, try it. I mean, you don't know until you try it if you're going to like it or not. And don't stay stitching in regulated precise because that's what your machine came with. And those are the settings, and you don't want to adjust them. Come on. I'm giving you permission, okay, to change those settings. You can change the stitch lengths. You can up them. That's another thing. With the stitch length, the smaller the stitch length and the faster it goes. So I would turn my stitch length up if I was doing the micro stipple to make my stitches closer together. Yes, if you screw up, it's harder to unpick. I know, I understand, but it looks so much better and it gives you that rounded curve look. So yeah, so try it out, see what you like, because we don't want you to quilt how I quilt. I want you to quilt how you quilt. No, our feet do not. Somebody asked if our feet work on other machines. They will only work on our Unique machines. Sorry. It's just one of those perks, but we have good trade-in options. Or call your dealer.
Special needle size?
Oh, yeah, the needle size, no, I don't have a special needle size. The needle size is really what thread you are using. So if you are using our finesse thread, you will want to use a size 18 needle. Cotton threads, like 16-inch needles. So your thread really is what you will base your needle size on. So don't let that, if you don't have 18 or 16, don't worry about it. You could just use what needles you have. That's not basing that on, it's just the thread that you're using. Yes, I think they are recording this, and yes, you can rewatch it later. So I think, is that true, Brian?
Yes.
Yes. What would you recommend outlining customers' embroidery with? Now, that's, I don't know. Embroidery is a little different. So I would probably use the micro stipple foot. But it just depends on the design. And you don't, with the embroidery designs, you have to watch it. You don't want to make it so busy that you lose that beautiful embroidery work. So if you want to just do a stitch in a ditch around it, I would use right now the ruler foot, okay? And quilt around it using the rulers just to outline it. And maybe you could come in 1/4 of an inch and just highlight it so that it would stand out and pop. I probably wouldn't do more than that, because you don't want, like I said, you don't want to make it so busy that you lose that beautiful embroidery. You want that embroidery to stand out. So that's probably what I would do to highlight that work. Now, if it's not a square and you're just highlighting it, I would probably use a chalk or something and highlight around it, using a chalk or something to just make sure that it wasn't so busy. That's what my concern is. Yeah, hi Mark, how are you? Can you use any size? Just make sure that, oh, he's answering questions, sorry. Oh, what size ruler is 1/4 inch? Our feet call for 1/4 inch. Now, on domestic machines, they like 1/8 inch. So there are 2 different sizes. So if you're using a domestic machine at home, you can get ruler bases and rulers with it. Sorry. And make sure that you get the right size shank and a ruler. So it's 1/4 inch for the rulers. That's why I like our True Cut rulers, because nobody else has this guide. So I use it, and it just sits, and the holes, it just sits down on the ruler base so nice and so flat. So yeah, make sure you do that. And when you're ordering, and you can order templates too. There are circle templates. There are so many templates and designs out there that you can use with the ruler foot. Don't limit yourself. You could use the clamshell. I know there are clamshell templates that you can use across your quilt. So there's lots of options. And the automation is on sale as well. What would you use around the applique? Micro stipple. That's my favorite foot to use around the applique, because it's small enough that I can see that I can get right there in the ditch around the applique, and I won't cross over onto it. And so I really like that micro stipple foot. Okay, my front ruler base touches the front of the Q-Zone Pro frame. Yes, so what you need to do on the Q-Zone Pro frame, if it's touching, is you've got some little set screws underneath. All of our frames come with this, and you can loosen those up and extend that pole out towards you and give you a wider quilting area. so it won't hit. So make sure that you feel underneath and loosen those set screws and pull it out and then retighten them, because you don't want it shifting back and forth because you haven't retightened them. But anyway, I really appreciate you joining me today. I have had so much fun showing you all of the neat things and everything. I just want to remind you of the code again. BFQFT, that's 20% off on our feet. And again, thank you for joining me. I've had so much fun. Join me next time. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to show you, but just know it's going to be super fun and super fantastic. Oh, and there will be a new code next week. And so just make sure you tune in for those great, amazing specials. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Goodbye.